Big news from the NPCA this month with the acquisition of 44 acres in the town of Pelham. Eric and Leilani join us. Eric, start with you. How does an acquisition of this size, this importance come about?
Well, in this case, the landowners contacted us, and that's quite often where the conversations first begin, either directly from the landowner or for us getting word of mouth out through our partners. And then from there, it's a number of conversations to see if our interests align. And if they do, then we gradually work our way through the process. And like this, hopefully it ends up in a successful acquisition.
This is a family that's had a long-standing relationship with the NPCA as well as Conservation Canada, and they're really committed to conservation. So it makes sense that they reached out to you here.
Very much so. They sold us a property, worked with us about 10 years ago to work on another property. And they've also worked with the Nature Conservancy of Canada for another property in Pelham. They're obviously dedicated to the environmental cause and protecting properties like this for future generations.
Leilani, this jives with what the NPCA's goals are between now and 2031. This donation, or sorry, I shouldn't say donation, but this transaction, 44 acres, it's 10% of your goal already.
Absolutely. In late 2022, we launched our land securement strategy, and our goal for that is to acquire 445 acres until 2031 is our goal. And part of that is seeking the protection of environmental and natural hazard lands for the protection, long-term protection, but also for public enjoyment. So looking at opportunities to add on to our current conservation areas or build new ones where there's opportunities.
Does the NPCA typically knock on doors looking at, a for sale sign goes up, knock on those doors, make some inquiries and see if that particular land could be bought by the NPCA?
We like to keep our ear to the ground, so to speak, and see what opportunities are out there. But also what we're seeing is landowners who are interested in conservation and want to protect their lands are actually reaching out to us. So most of our successes are coming through people like the Lathrops who are conservation minded and looking for opportunities to protect their land in perpetuity with the Conservation Authority.
Was this a farming family? Is that why they held so much land?
Yes, the Lathrops are a farming family in Pelham, and as Eric said, they've already transferred some of their lands to the NPCA and Nature Conservancy Canada, and so part of their legacy is leaving these lands for the public and for conservation, but also looking at leaving their lands for farming and continuing that part of their legacy too.
The Lathrop Conservation Area that now exists, will it join with this? Are they connected, these two pieces?
They're not quite connected, but fairly close, and it's quite possible we'll consider them one property. We're going to be working on a management plan for the property, which will consider how we manage it long term and potential for public access to the property as well.
What goes into that management plan? What do you look at? And can you tell me a little bit more about what's actually on this new parcel of 44 acres?
I can. The new parcel is spectacular. It's in a more remote area of Pelham. You step foot on the property and get a sense of peace and tranquility. There's not a lot of urbanization around it, and you've got some great escarpment slopes, forests, some cool water streams, and some small waterfalls. So the property is quite spectacular. And what we do is we consider all those features on the site, how they have to be managed, if they require any management. And then from there, we look at possibility for public access. Can there be trails on site? Can we get public out to enjoy nature?
You need a place for people to park as well.
Yes. So there's considerations in planning and processes to go through there, and that'll take a little bit of time.
Any endangered species on this land?
There are some. We can't quite tell you what they are or where they are, but quite often when we look at parcels like this, they do include endangered species, flora and fauna that are quite significant. And in some cases, you will know about them, like brook trout, where they might exist on the property, and those are indicator species for us. If we can maintain their presence on the property, we know the environment that we're protecting and we're doing a good job of protecting the environment on site.
Leilani, there is the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation, which raises funds for the NPCA. Are the funds from the foundation used for an acquisition like this?
Great question. This acquisition is a great example of how partners have come together to support the acquisition and protection of property. So through funding from Niagara Region, the Federal Nature Smart Climate Solutions Fund, and the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. They've come together to provide funding for this particular acquisition, but there's also great opportunities through our foundation for members of the public and communities within our watershed to come together and also contribute. So either through donations or other ways they can support our foundation. So we would encourage people to go to our website at niagaraconservationfoundation.com and look at ways where you could even donate, say, $20 or as little as you can or as much as you can, but also look at how you can support our activities.
And buy one of those
Pens.
comfort maple pens.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a great gift at any time for anybody in the family.
Leilani, Eric, thanks for coming in today, and we hope to have you back in soon to announce other acquisitions.
Thank
Thank you.